Welcome, ICOPs and fellow World of Warshippers. This is Sir Hammer, and today I've got a fun one in the Tier 10 heavy British cruiser, the Gibraltar. The Gibraltar is a ship that a lot of people regard as terrible and not worth it. But I actually have quite a lot of fun in the Gibraltar, and I think it is a little bit better than people seem to think it is. So I'm going to attempt to show you a good game in this boat. And to be honest with you, I have a lot of games that are maybe not this good, but they're pretty close. This ship can actually frag kinda hard if you put it in the right scenario. So today I'm divisioned up with Azul, Tenshi, and Dark Wolf. They are fellow ICOPs of mine, and we are going to attempt to do a little bit of seal clubbing. And this is a mixed game. We have 8, 9s, and 10s in this match, and since we are in 3 tier 10s, we are probably going to end up doing the bulk of the work. That is, spoiler alert, going to end up being exactly what happens. So, let's go ahead and start looking at this game. First thing that happens, the Benson fat fingers his smoke. We've all seen it, we all dread it, and it still happens. Some destroyer always sits down at his keyboard after he's been to the bathroom to pee, and he ends up sticking his whole hand on his keyboard and just smashing every button on the thing and ends up popping his smoke. It happens. But we are going to make use of this. We're not going to let this free smoke go to waste, because as you can see, the Gibraltar has a smoke, so if I don't have to use my own smoke, well, that's just fantastic. I get to camp in one spot even longer. So one thing the Gibraltar is good at, you'll notice that it has AP only. But this AP is short fuse with improved pin angles. So you can actually full pin destroyers with this AP. And I'm going to tell you, it hurts. This thing just assassinates destroyers. So what I'm trying to do right now is just sit kind of close to the caps, both C and B, and I'm going to try to be in range of shooting DDs when they get spotted. So I see the Fletcher, and I know he's going to beach. He goes dark. I fire. It was a very quick aim. I have no idea if it's going to hit. Probably not. We do get one pin, but you can see that was 2,000 damage for one full pin. This ship has 12 guns. You can really hurt DDs, and here's the gearing. We're going to see how much damage we end up doing to him. That was also a pretty bad shot. Well, we still got 2 full pins on him. And I have a feeling we're going to get a lot more right here. Still only 2 pins. I guess my aim is not very good today. That's okay. He's still spotted, so we're going to keep shooting him. And here we're going to get 5 full pins for almost 9,000 damage. Yeah, that's just with 5 full pins. When you're close, you can actually one-shot destroyers. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and pick up the kill on that gearing, and we're going to get first blood. Unfortunately, our Benson is also going to die, because of course he does not have his smoke screen, because he fat-fingered it early in the match. So, now that his smoke is gone, I'm going to go ahead and pop my own smoke. The Gibraltar is a very funny ship. It's a heavy cruiser with a smoke, not something you see very often. You kind of have to think of this thing as a heavy Minotaur. It has 234mm guns, so you can overmatch DDs and super light cruisers, which is really nice. The only problem is the smoke fire penalty is somewhere in the realm of, I think it's like 9.7. It's 9 something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's 9 something in the upper 9s. So, problem with this ship is while you can smoke up, you can't get too close because you will fire and you will be spotted, and oh my god, is this thing squishy. You'll see that it only has a normal heal. Most British cruisers are used to getting their super heal. So like the Goliath and the Minotaur, they're used to being able to just reprint the ship when they take damage. Not so much in the Gibraltar. You have to be very careful. and your citadel is raised, and if you look at the back of the ship, you'll see that the stern is just completely flat, so people can full pin you, citadel you through your butt, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you gotta be careful. So anyway, we've been sitting in this smoke screen for a while, so I decide that it's time to leave and quell the rebellion of the Northeast, because as you can see, the Reds are moving up very aggressively, and our team is dropping like flies, so I'm going to have to reposition and try to put some shots in the Schlieffen and do something about this push. So you'll see that was 9 pins for about 9,000 damage, which is not bad shooting a battleship. You know, your reload's pretty good in this thing. It's about 10 seconds if you build for it. I would not recommend building range. The shells are so floaty, you're not going to hit anything if you bump it up to like 19, I think it is. So just leave it at about 16, I think it's 16.1. Just leave it there, go for the reload. I promise you won't regret it. So you can see now, we only have 6 boats left, and the enemy has 9. This is not going well for our team. You'll even see I ask my team why our DDs are just exploding randomly. Little bit of rage, but you know, it happens to the best of us when you get a team like this. So anyway, it looks like this Schlieffen is going to go down. Hopefully we can get rid of him before the Alsace dies. He's gonna move up. I don't have my smoke yet, but I can shoot over this rock, so I'm just gonna shoot him a little bit and hopefully take him out. Yeah, we do pick him up. That was a little bit of a kill steal. That's alright, it happens, but what goes around comes around. I'm sure I will have kills of mine stolen later. That's just the nature of World of Warships. So anyway, we're not going to worry about that too much. Pick up some hits on the Schroeder in the middle of the cap there. Get some defended ribbons. I don't really have much to shoot at right now, so I'm just going to take some pot shots over the island at the Gibraltar, or at the, sorry, the Jean Bart. What I'm doing right now, I can't see this guy at all, so I'm using the mini-map to aim, which if you don't know, you can see where your shells are going to go on the mini-map. So if you're in a storm or shooting over a rock and can't see someone, just put the little circle on their ship and fire and hope for the best, and sometimes you'll hit them. And I'm really hoping those are Sashio torpedoes. And they are. That was really lucky. In the game, when I played this, I remember this, I shit my pants a little bit. That was terrifying. I had no idea he was there, and all of a sudden there's a rack of torpedoes that just pop up off the side of my boat. But for those of you that don't know, a Sashio has deep water torps of the very specific variety that only hit battleships and carriers. They cannot hit DDs or cruisers. So we got a little lucky right there. And we're not going to put that to waste. Our second chance at life. We see this Venezia pushing in. I'm posted up, ready for him. Problem is I can't really see him, so we're just going to sit here and wait for him to fire. Because his smoke penalty is also terrible, so I will spot him if he fires. Which he actually ends up getting spotted by Dark Wolf, our Gross Occur first right now. But I'm going to push out of my smoke anyway, because we got to make this happen. We're down to 5 boats to their 8, and they have 3 caps. I'm realizing that we got to make it happen. There's no time for sitting around in smoke. The Gibraltar's gimmick is not really going to help me here of being able to smoke up and farm people. We just got to go. So I push out. I'm going to kill this Venezia because the Gibraltar absolutely smashes other cruisers in a 1v1. We do get a little bit tickled by the JB over there. That's fine. If we play this right, hopefully we won't have to really brawl anymore for the rest of the game. So I do take out the Venezia, but I'm kind of hurting a little bit. I'm going to try to go dark, shoot over this rock, get lucky and dodge Venezia torps, pop a hydro to make sure he didn't get multiple sets of torps off, and we accidentally find the Asashio. And you're about to see what happens when you're a DD and you decide to fight a Gibraltar. I'm actually kind of shocked that first salvo didn't kill him. I think he was saturated on his stern, which is why that didn't hurt very much. But yeah, we're just gonna smash that guy. Just, ugh. Bug on a windshield. Gross. Anyway, the Akizuki's coming around too. JB's low. And Dark Wolf's actually going to pick up a double strike. So between his double strike and me taking out the Asashio, we've actually, boat-wise, even scored a little bit. The enemy team is still a little ahead on points, but we actually have a little bit of advantage on ships to work with now. So I'm going to stay behind this island, waiting for my heal to come back, and I'm just going to pepper the Schroeder. But you can see our short views and improved pin angles going to work here. He is completely angled to me. And I'm still just going to keep ripping this guy for 4,000 or 5,000 damage at a time. That is kind of the saving grace of the Gibraltar. It does not have HE, but its AP works, man. Just aim for superstructure, and look at that. That was like 6,000 to 7,000 damage. And he is perfectly angled away from me. Well, we do lose 2 more ships. That's to be expected. This game has not gone well for our team. They have rolled over and died, and Azul picks up the torps on the Yamato, takes him out, and we get coordinated attack, which is 7 kills for the division. So you can see we've just about killed everyone on the enemy team that has died, has been because of an ICOP. Only 2 people, sorry, 1 person has not been. So, how about that? No, I take that back. 2 people. 2 people. Yeah, and I got a spoiler alert for you again. We're going to get every single kill for the rest of this match. So we have airplanes coming in from the Nebraska. For those of you that don't know, that is one of the new American hybrid battleships. That is a battleship that has guns and airplanes, kind of like the Kearsarge. Think of the Nebraska as a tier 8 Kearsarge. He's coming in, so I'm going to get close to Dark Wolf so we can pool our AA. And that's actually going to kind of help us a little bit. And I think we're going to shoot all of his planes down before he gets to strike us. That's very rare. It doesn't happen very often, but appreciated when it does. So I'm going to take out the Schroeder for the Kraken. And there's still more killing to do. Don't you worry, this game isn't over yet. So we see our Hayate is up there brawling with a Salem. That's not going to go very well for him, so we don't really have time to mess around and hang back. This is now a brawling game. We're going to have to get after it. So we're going to take this cap just to give us a little bit more time to get up there and get after it. And I'm actually going to attempt to smoke Dark Wolf in so he can put his secondaries to work without having to lose any HP, which should give him a massive advantage in this fight. Unfortunately, that Salem is coming toward us, and he's probably going to have radar on us. So I actually turn out, because I do not want to take a brawl with a Salem and a Nebraska at the same time. So I'm going to turn out, and I'm going to let Dark Wolf push. Especially since there's planes coming at us again. I'm just going to let these planes go away before I turn around. And what do you know? Our AA actually does something again, and we take his planes out. Again, doesn't happen very often. I guess that guy just doesn't know how to dodge flak, but that's okay. So now that I'm dark, I'm going to turn back around, because again, don't have time to dilly-dally. Now that I can actually put an island between me and the Salem and try to take a fight with the Nebraska and just support Dark Wolf, we can kind of separate these guys into 2 1v1s instead of or 2 2v1s instead of a 2v2. So it will be to our advantage. And I'm just going to stay kind of back a little bit and let Dark Wolf do a lot of the tanking here. I'm going to try to shoot over this island because Gibraltar has really good arcs. I tickle him a little in the superstructure, and here I'm going to aim for like the conning tower again. Don't get it. I'm too close to the island at this point, so I'm going to have to push around to hit this guy. But I don't want to do it while he's basically full HP. I'm going to let Dark Wolf soften him up a little bit, let him turn his guns toward Dark Wolf, and then when he's least expecting it, I'll throw this thing in forward and put some damage on the Nebraska. That's one thing about the Gibraltar that's nice, is it has the same boosted acceleration that all British cruisers get. So like how the Minotaur can just activate its warp drive and go up to full speed in a few seconds, the Gibraltar can do the same thing. So I'm going to pump it to full speed now that his guns are faced toward Darkwolf, and we're just going to 2v1 this guy. And take out the Nebraska for the 6th kill. Not bad. There's still a Salem left. Can we get 7? I'm going to assume at this point that this roughly half-health Salem is not going to take out a half-health Gibraltar and a half-health Kurfürst. It's not going to happen. So the game is pretty much over at this point. We carried a lot here. I mean, this game went from being absolutely lost, down 3 or 4 ships from the enemy team, down a cap, to pulling this back and winning. So thanks to Darkwolf and thanks to Azul for making this happen. This was a fun one. And the Salem survived my barrage with 90 HP. That's fine. Darkwolf gets the kill. And here's our scorecard for the match. You can see all 3 of us were at the top of the board. I had 6 kills, Darkwolf had 3, and Azul had a kill. That's 10 kills for ICOP this game, ladies and gentlemen. That was quite the carry. And here's my individual scorecard. That is a lot of medals. Again, thanks Darkwolf and Azul, and thanks everybody for watching. I hope you had a fun time, and we'll see you in the next one.